I recently published a video here on the None More Metal channel where I examined the question of whether Pantera had recorded a perfect metal album. I won't spoil the conclusion I came to, but in that video I ranked and discussed all of the Pantera albums from the 1990s. I received quite a lot of feedback, some of it pretty surprising to me. I had no idea how many fans regarded The Great Southern Trendkill as Pantera's best album. I like Trendkill a lot, but not to the point where I would call it Pantera's best. Along those same lines of what I'll call constructive criticism, I was surprised at how many people thought I was crazy to rank Far Beyond Driven above Vulgar Display of Power. In all honesty, those two albums are neck and neck for me. I can absolutely see how someone would like Vulgar more than Far Beyond Driven. That's not what surprised me. It was the number of people that I heard from who saw Vulgar as far and away the better album. So even though I've listened to Vulgar Display of Power thousands of times since it was released in 1992, I figured I'd go back and give it another close listen and see if I am really crazy. And I figured if I'm going back to do a deep dive on the album anyway, I might as well rank the songs while I'm at it. Hey everyone, this is Kennedy from None More Metal, and in this video I'm going to rank and discuss each of the songs on Pantera's classic album Vulgar Display of Power. In doing so, I hope to gain some insight into whether I made the right choice when I ranked Far Beyond Driven ahead of Vulgar in a recent video. With that, let's get to it. The difficult part about ranking the songs on a legendary album is that something has to be last. In the case of Vulgar Display of Power, my least favorite song, coming in at number 11, is Live in a Hole. Let me clarify that Live in a Hole is a good song. 99% of metal bands would give their right arm to have written this song, but to me it's a notch below the rest of the album in terms of quality. I apologize to fans of Live in a Hole and welcome you to post in the comments telling me which songs on this album you would rank below it. Coming in at number 10 with what will possibly be the most controversial ranking on this list is By Demons Be Driven. I'm anticipating some pushback on this ranking because I mentioned in the Pantera album ranking video how this was one of my least favorite songs by the band, and I took some heat for that. Like Live in a Hole, I like this song but feel that it's not quite the caliber of the rest of the songs still to come on this list. In a vacuum, I'd hold By Demons Be Driven up as an example of a stellar heavy metal song, but when I'm comparing it relative to the songs on Vulgar Display of Power, it's near the bottom of the pile. Song number 9 on this list is No Good, Attack the Radical. This is a song I feel sort of falls through the cracks on this album. It's rare that I hear it being discussed outside the context of something like this video where the entire album is being listed off. It's a shame because it features a classic dime bag solo and killer drumming by Vinny. No Good is a song I'd love to see pulled out of the mothballs for the Pantera tribute tour, but I'm not holding my breath. Even when the original band was touring extensively in the 90s, it was rarely included in the setlist. Coming in at number 8 is This Love. This Love was released as a single and video and is one of Pantera's most well-known songs. Stylistically, it's as close as Pantera gets to a ballad. Structurally, it follows the common heavy metal ballad pattern of having a mellow verse and a heavy chorus. Don't take that to mean that This Love is a paint-by-numbers song. Quite the contrary. It's an excellent song that showcases Pantera's versatility. It's also a song that goes over really well in the live setting. From the point at which Vulgar was released up until the band broke up, This Love was regularly in the band's set list and always got a huge response from the crowd. Coming in at number 7 is album closer Hollow. Hollow, like This Love, showcases the band's more melodic side. Also like This Love, this song follows the light verse, heavy chorus pattern and does so effectively. The vocals on this song are one of the best examples of Phil Anselmo's ability to sing cleanly. The technique and tone he uses on the verses remind me a lot of Cemetery Gates from the Cowboys from Hell album. Because of the obvious structural similarities between This Love and Hollow, it was a bit difficult for me to decide which one I liked better. Taking all aspects of both songs into account, I give a slight edge to Hollow. Song number 6 on this list is Fucking Hostile. There's not a lot to say about this song. It's fast and heavy, and always kills in the live setting. Dime's guitar solo is chaotic, fitting the song perfectly. At 2 minutes and 48 seconds, Fucking Hostile is the shortest song on the album, and appropriately so. It's a violent burst of aggression perfectly fitted to its title. Coming in at number 5 is the song Rise. Now that we're in the top 5, from this point forward we're dealing with songs that I consider to be metal classics. I don't think Rise necessarily gets the recognition that some of the other songs left to come on this list do, but that's not because it doesn't deserve it. The song starts abruptly and the intro riff is super fast. That then gives way to the verse riff, which has a start-stop aspect to it, which reminds me a lot of the band Helmet. Similar to No Good, this is a song I'd love to see included in the set at some point on the tribute tour. Charlie Benante has mentioned that the guys in the group have kicked around the idea of swapping in some other songs as the tour progresses, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Song number 4 is album opener Mouth for War. Mouth for War was the first single and video off of Vulgar, and for some fans, who somehow missed Cowboys from Hell, was their first introduction to Pantera. As the first song on the record, Mouth for War does an amazing job of setting the tone for what's to come. Dime's solo is one of the better on the album, and the lyrics hit on the common Pantera subject matter of inner strength and self-reliance. The final 50 seconds or so of the song features an uptick in tempo and was always a highlight when the band played Mouth for War live. Coming in at number 3 in our rankings of the songs on Vulgar Display of Power is the song Regular People. This is actually the song I'm most interested to find out others' opinions about. Please add a comment and let me know if I'm alone in thinking it's one of the best songs on Vulgar, or if you agree with me. Vinny's drumming really drives this song, especially in the chorus. The verse riff is also ridiculously heavy. I've mentioned a few of Dime's solos already, which shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, and I'm going to add this solo to the list. It's a great example of Dime's technique that we all know so well. Lastly, Phil's lyrics might be my favorite part of the song. Of all the Pantera songs about strength, power, and rising above, I think these lyrics may be better than any of the others. Song number 2 on this list is Walk. Walk, as anyone watching this video likely knows, is Pantera's most widely known song. If you watched MTV or listened to rock radio in the 90s, you heard Walk often. Somehow, despite being omnipresent for a decade, I never got tired of this song. Not even a little bit. Mouth for War was the first single and video off Vulgar, but it was Walk that really propelled Pantera's popularity as a band. The intro riff is instantly recognizable, and the chorus is one that begs for you to sing along. Live, Walk always brought the house down. In the latter part of their career, before breaking up, Pantera often used Walk as their closer in the set lists. I think that the expectation for a lot of people coming into this video was that Walk would be ranked number 1. I'll admit that I debated doing exactly that, not only because it's a killer song, but because of the significant place it holds in Pantera's history. Despite all of that, Walk comes in at number 2, because I think there's one song on Vulgar Display of Power which is better. And that song, coming in at number 1, is A New Level. For me, A New Level encapsulates not only everything that's great about Vulgar Display of Power, but everything that's great about Pantera as a whole. The lyrics are classic Pantera, ready to take on the world and full of confidence. The intro is every bit as iconic as Walk, with an ascending riff that eventually evolves into a heavy, palm-muted version before eventually giving way to the classic dime bag chugging. The chugging remains throughout the verses before transitioning back into the intro riff for the chorus. And of course, as with multiple other songs I've mentioned on this list, Dime's guitar solo was stellar. In Pantera's entire catalog, you'd be hard-pressed to find a song that better demonstrates the unique talents of Dime, Phil, Vinny, and Rex so perfectly. As I mentioned in the intro, the primary purpose of this video was for me to take a deep look at the songs on Vulgar Display of Power and determine if I made a mistake ranking it below Far Beyond Driven in my Pantera album rankings video. At this point, I'm not ready to say that I've changed my mind. I will say, however, that the margin between the two albums is razor thin. My main sticking point is that Far Beyond Driven feels like an evolution of what the band did on Vulgar. The songwriting is more mature and the performance by each member of the band feels more refined. Having said that, I recognize that maturity and refinement aren't necessarily the attributes that someone would necessarily be looking for in a Pantera album. I think maybe I need to revisit this issue in a year or so, give both albums another deep listen, and see where I stand at that point. Until then, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and like bands like Pantera, please subscribe and press the like button. Also, let me know what your favorite songs off of Vulgar Display of Power are in the comments. I'll see you next time.